Lord Frost has unveiled his plan to overhaul EU laws imposed on the UK before Brexit. Speaking in Parliament, the minister outlined his plans to scrap the special status provided to laws handed down from Brussels, look at creating a tailored mechanism to amend laws first introduced by the EU, and also create a new commission to review which laws should be retained. His announcement came after months of work and government looking at how to best make use of taking back control of powers from the EU. Lord Frost said it was time to normalise EU laws to place them on equal footing with legislation passed in the Commons to once again make Parliament sovereign. He warned there was a mammoth task ahead to break free from Brussels given the extent of EU influence over our political system over nearly 50 years. Speaking to peers, Lord Frost said, "First of all, we're going to conduct a review of so-called retained EU law. And by this I mean the very many pieces of legislation which we took onto our own statute book through the European Union Withdrawal Act of 2018. We must now revisit this huge but, for us, anomalous category of law. In doing so, we have two purposes in mind. First, to remove the special status of retained EU law so it is no longer a distinct category of UK domestic law but normalised within our law with a clear legislative status. Unless we do this, we risk giving undue precedence to laws derived from EU legislation over laws made properly by this Parliament." He said the plans would allow UK courts to break away from precedents set by EU case law. In so doing, we shall continue and finalise the process of restoring this sovereign Parliament and our courts to their proper constitutional positions, the minister added. Explaining phase 2 of the government's plans, Lord Frost said there would be to comprehensively review the laws moved over to the UK statute book upon quitting the EU. In order to avoid a legislative crisis, laws adopted while Britain was a part of the trade bloc were replicated in UK law en masse. Lord Frost said, "I want to be clear, eventually, our intention is to amend, to replace, or repeal all that retained EU law that is not right for the UK. The last step of the blueprint will see rigorous tests put in place to ensure future regulation is necessary before it is introduced. It is hoped the extra measures will avoid unnecessary burdensome rules being imposed on businesses," the Brexit minister added. "Now we have control of all of our laws, not just a subset of them. We will consider the reintroduction of a 1-in, 2-out system, which has been shown internationally to have a significant difference to how regulation proceeds." Lord Frost's announcement builds on the recommendations from the Task Force for Regulatory Reform, Innovation and Growth, TIGRR, led by Sir Ian Duncan Smith. The group were appointed by Prime Minister Boris Johnson earlier this year to look into regulation inherited from the EU and make recommendations as to how to best make use of Brexit to boost UK competitiveness on the world stage. "The problem that we had with being a member of the European Union is that they follow a different structure of law to us," Sir Ian told at the time. He added now Britain was freed from the EU after nearly 50 years of membership, the country should return to the common law principle that has governed for centuries.